There comes a moment in life when you realize that the only thing standing between where you are and where you want to be is you, not your circumstances, not your past, not the opinions of others, just you and the way you see yourself. For years, you've been conditioned to believe a story about yourself. Maybe you were told you weren't smart enough, not strong enough, not worthy enough, and you believed it. You let that narrative define you, shape your actions, and dictate your limits. But what if that story was never true? What if you've been living in a cage made of your own thoughts? See, the world doesn't give you what you want, it gives you what you believe you deserve. And if you keep looking at yourself through the lens of doubt, fear, and insecurity, you will never step into the greatness that was meant for you. The way you see yourself determines how you show up in the world. You walk differently when you know your worth. You speak differently when you believe in your power. You fight differently when you know you were born to win. Imagine standing in front of a mirror that reflects not just your face, but your deepest thoughts about yourself. If that mirror could speak, what would it say? Would it remind you of every failure, every flaw, or would it tell you about your resilience, your strength, your ability to rise? That reflection is a choice. You can choose to see yourself as broken, or you can choose to see yourself as a masterpiece in progress. No one is coming to save you. No one is going to wake up and hand you confidence, self-belief, or success. You have to decide right now to rewrite your story. You have to choose to see yourself as powerful, as capable, as unstoppable. Because when you change the way you see yourself, you change the way you move. And when you change the way you move, you change the direction of your life. So stop waiting, stop doubting, stop shrinking yourself to fit into a version of you that no longer serves you. Stand up, step forward, own your greatness, because the moment you start seeing yourself differently, the world will have no choice but to see you differently too. Your story is not set in stone. The beliefs you've been conditioned to accept about yourself may not be true. You have the power to rewrite your narrative. You wake up every morning with a choice. To see yourself as limited by your past or to see yourself as someone who can break through every obstacle. The truth is, nothing outside of you is stopping you. Not your family, not your circumstances, not even your failures. The only thing that's ever stood in your way is the way you see yourself. Think about it. How many times have you held yourself back because you doubted if you were good enough? How many dreams have you put on hold because you convinced yourself you weren't ready? It's not life that keeps you stuck. It's the story you keep telling yourself. The moment you change that story, everything shifts. You've been looking at yourself through the wrong lens for too long. You see your mistakes, but you ignore your lessons. You focus on your weaknesses, but you downplay your strengths. You compare yourself to others, forgetting that your journey is unique. But what if, starting today, you chose to see yourself differently? What if you chose to see someone who is powerful, resilient, and worthy of everything they desire? No one is going to give you permission to be great. You have to claim it for yourself. Stop waiting for someone to validate you. Stop looking for signs. Stop letting fear dictate your future. You have everything you need inside you right now, but you have to believe it. Because when you truly see yourself for who you are, not through the filter of self-doubt, but through the truth of your potential, there is no limit to what you can achieve. Your past does not define you. The story you have been told, the labels people have placed on you, and the doubts you have carried, they are not permanent. Too often people live their lives trapped in a narrative they never wrote. Maybe someone told you that you weren't smart enough, strong enough, or talented enough. Maybe you failed before and now you've convinced yourself that failure is who you are. But that's not the truth. The truth is, at any moment, you have the power to change your story. Think about a book. If a chapter is filled with struggle, does that mean the whole book is a failure? No, it's just one part of the journey. In the same way, your past struggles, mistakes, or even the way you've seen yourself up until now do not have to be the final chapter of your life. You can pick up the pen and write a new version of yourself. Stop letting an old version of you dictate your future. The moment you decide to shift your mindset, everything begins to change. The way you walk, the way you speak, the way you show up in the world. It all starts with how you see yourself. If you believe you are stuck, you will stay stuck. If you believe you are capable, you will take action. And when you take action, doors begin to open, opportunities begin to appear, and life begins to respond to the person you are becoming. You are not who you were yesterday. You are who you decide to be today. So let go of the past, let go of the doubts, let go of the old story that's been holding you back. It's time to see yourself as the person who is ready to rise, ready to grow, and ready to step into the life you were meant to live. Life does not give you what you want. It gives you what you believe you deserve. If you see yourself as small, the world will treat you as small. If you walk into a room believing you are not enough, opportunities will pass you by. Not because you aren't capable, but because your energy tells the world you don't believe in yourself. Every great achievement starts with a mindset. The most successful people are not necessarily the smartest, the strongest, or the most talented. They are the ones who believe they belong in the spaces they walk into. They are the ones who refuse to see themselves as less than anyone else. The way you see yourself is like a signal you send out to the world, and the world simply reflects it back to you. If you see yourself as someone worthy of success, you will chase opportunities with confidence. If you see yourself as someone who is always struggling, you will subconsciously create more struggle. You can't wait for others to validate you. You can't wait for someone to give you permission to feel worthy. You have to decide right now that you are enough as you are. You have to carry yourself like someone who deserves every bit of success, love, and happiness that life has to offer. Because the moment you change how you see yourself, everything around you will start to change. Doors that once seemed locked will open. People who once overlooked you will start to notice. And the life that once felt impossible will become your reality. So stop playing small. Stop doubting your work. Stop thinking that you are any less than those who are out there living the life you dream of. The only difference between them and you is belief. And belief is a choice. Choose to see yourself as powerful. Choose to see yourself as deserving. Because when you do, the world will have no choice but to see you the same way. The way you see yourself determines how you move through life. If you see yourself as weak, you will hesitate. If you see yourself as unworthy, you will settle. But if you see yourself as powerful, unstoppable, and capable, you will walk with confidence, speak with authority, and chase your dreams like you were born to achieve them. Look around at the people who inspire you, the ones who seem to command attention, who get opportunities, who make an impact. What is the difference between them and you? It's not just talent. It's not just luck. It's the way they see themselves. They believe they belong. They believe they deserve success. They believe they are built for something greater. And because they believe it, they move like it. Confidence is not something you wait to feel. Confidence is something you choose. You decide to carry yourself differently. You decide to speak with conviction. You decide to stand tall, even when doubt creeps in. And the more you choose confidence, the more it becomes who you are. You cannot afford to see yourself as anything less than great, because the world will treat you exactly how you treat yourself. If you walk in like you belong, people will believe you belong. If you act like you are worthy, the world will reflect that worth back to you. No more playing small. No more waiting for the right moment to feel ready. No more doubting whether you have what it takes. You already have everything you need inside you, but you must step into it. Walk differently, speak differently, move differently. Because when you start seeing yourself as powerful, the world will have no choice but to see you the same way. Imagine standing in front of a mirror, not just seeing your face, but seeing the deepest thoughts you have about yourself. If that mirror could speak, what would it say? Would it remind you of your mistakes, your flaws, your failures? Or would it tell you about your strength, your resilience, your potential? The way you see yourself is a choice. Too many people wake up every day and focus on what they lack. They look in the mirror and see someone who isn't good enough, smart enough, or talented enough. But what if you changed the way you looked at yourself? What if instead of seeing what's wrong, you started seeing what's right? Instead of focusing on your struggles, you focused on how far you've come. Your reflection is not just what's in the glass. It's the story you tell yourself every day. And that story is shaping your actions, your confidence, and your future. If you keep telling yourself that you're not capable, you will act like you're not capable. If you keep focusing on your weaknesses, you will never step into your strengths. But the moment you choose to shift your perspective, everything changes. You are more than your past. You are more than your mistakes. You are more than the doubts that try to hold you back. It's time to look in the mirror and see someone who is powerful, someone who is worthy, someone who is ready to rise. Because once you change the way you see yourself, you will move differently, speak differently, and live differently. And the world will have no choice but to respond to the new, unstoppable version of you. No one is coming to save you. No one is going to wake up one day and hand you confidence, hand you success, or hand you the life you dream of. If you're waiting for someone to give you permission to be great, you'll be waiting forever. The truth is, it has always been up to you. The way you see yourself, the way you carry yourself, the way you fight for your future, it all comes down to a decision that only you can make. Too many people sit back and hope that one day things will change. They hope for the right opportunity, the right moment, the right circumstances. But life doesn't work that way. No one is going to knock on your door and say, hey, here's the confidence you've been waiting for. Here's the success you've been hoping for. You have to take it. You have to wake up every day and choose to see yourself differently. You have to decide that you are worthy of more, that you are capable of more, that you will not let fear, doubt, or the opinions of others control your life any longer. If you want something, you have to go after it like your life depends on it, because it does. If you want confidence, you have to build it by taking action, by stepping outside of your comfort zone, by proving to yourself that you are stronger than you think. If you want success, you have to stop making excuses and start making moves. You have to show up for yourself every single day, even when it's hard, even when you don't feel like it, because the moment you take full responsibility for your future, everything changes. You don't need permission. You don't need validation. You don't need to wait for the perfect time. The time is now. The power is in your hands. The only question is, what are you going to do with it? The way you see yourself shapes the way you move. If you believe you are powerless, you will hesitate. If you believe you are not good enough, you will hold back. But if you believe you are capable, if you believe you are built for something greater, you will step forward with confidence. Everything starts in the mind. Every action, every decision, every opportunity you take or don't take is a reflection of how you see yourself. Look at your life right now. The way you show up, the way you speak, the way you carry yourself, it's all connected to your self-opinion. If you walk into a room with your head down, afraid to take up space, people will treat you like you don't belong. But if you walk in with the belief that you deserve to be there, that you have something valuable to offer, the energy shifts. People see what you project. The world responds to the way you see yourself. The reason so many people stay stuck is because they keep waiting to feel different before they act differently. They think, once I feel confident, I'll take that step. Once I feel ready, I'll chase that dream. But that's not how it works. Confidence doesn't come first. Action does. You have to move before you feel ready. You have to speak before you're comfortable. You have to step into the version of yourself that you want to become, even when it feels unfamiliar. And the more you do it, the more natural it becomes. Your mindset is the foundation of your future. If you keep thinking small, you will keep living small. But the moment you shift your belief about yourself, your actions will follow. And when your actions change, your entire life will change. Stop waiting. Stop hesitating. Move like the person you want to be. And soon, that's exactly who you will become. You were not born to play small. You were not created to shrink yourself just to fit into the expectations of others. Yet too many people hold back their potential, afraid of standing out, afraid of what people might say, afraid of failure. But ask yourself, how much longer are you going to keep dimming your light just to make others comfortable? How much longer are you going to ignore the greatness inside you just because stepping up feels uncomfortable? Every time you doubt yourself, every time you hesitate, every time you make yourself smaller than you are, you rob the world of the impact you were meant to make. You were built for something greater, but you can't step into that greatness if you keep letting fear control you. The truth is, the people who win in life are not always the smartest, the most talented, or the most prepared. They're the ones who have the courage to show up, to take risks, to refuse to shrink. You have spent too much time thinking about what could go wrong. What if I fail? What if they judge me? What if I'm not good enough? But what if you succeed? What if you inspire someone? What if you are more powerful than you ever imagined? You will never know until you stop holding yourself back. The world does not reward those who play it safe. The world rewards those who step up, who take action, who believe in themselves even when no one else does. Stop waiting for the perfect moment. Stop waiting for permission. Stop waiting for someone to tell you that you're good enough. You are already good enough. You are already capable. The only thing left to do is step into it. Walk like you belong, speak like you matter, and never again shrink yourself to fit into a space that was never meant to contain you. The energy you put out into the world is the energy that comes back to you. If you walk through life doubting yourself, questioning your worth, and shrinking into the background, the world will treat you exactly how you treat yourself. But if you carry yourself like someone who is unstoppable, like someone who is worthy, like someone who belongs at the table, the world will begin to respond in ways you never imagined. Think about it. When you walk into a room, before you even say a word, people can feel your presence. They can sense whether you are confident or uncertain, whether you believe in yourself or whether you're questioning your own worth. And the way people treat you will be a reflection of that energy. The reason some people attract success, opportunities, and the right relationships isn't luck, it's the way they carry themselves. They move like they belong, and because of that, doors open for them. You can no longer afford to move like someone who is unsure. You can no longer afford to keep playing small and waiting for people to notice your worth. You have to make them notice. You have to believe in yourself so strongly that the world has no choice but to believe in you too. Speak with conviction, walk with purpose, show up with the energy of someone who is already where they want to be, and watch how the universe shifts in your favor. This is not about faking it. It's about becoming it. It's about stepping into your power, refusing to let self-doubt hold you back, and deciding that from this moment forward, you will move like the person you were always meant to be. Because once you see yourself differently, once you raise your energy, the world will have no choice but to meet you at the level you set. The question is, how high are you willing to go? Everything you've ever wanted, every dream you've ever had, every goal that has felt just out of reach, it all begins with one thing: the way you see yourself. You can have the talent, the resources, and the opportunities, but if you don't believe in yourself, if you don't see yourself as capable, you will always find a way to hold yourself back. And the truth is, no one can change that for you. No one can shift your mindset. No one can rewrite your story, and no one can decide for you that you are enough. That power belongs to you. You were never meant to live a life full of hesitation, regret, and self-doubt. You were built for more. And the moment you start seeing yourself as someone who is strong, someone who is worthy, someone who is unstoppable, everything around you will begin to shift. You will walk differently. You will speak differently. You will move differently. And the world will respond to you in ways you never thought possible. Doors that seem locked will open. Opportunities that seemed out of reach will come looking for you. The life that once felt impossible will start to take shape right in front of you, not because the world changed, but because you changed. So ask yourself, how much longer are you going to let fear and self-doubt control your future? How much longer are you going to shrink yourself when you were meant to stand tall? How much longer are you going to wait before you finally step into the person you were always meant to be? The time for waiting is over. The time for doubting is done. This is your moment, your turning point, your opportunity to change everything. See yourself as powerful. See yourself as capable. See yourself as someone who deserves success, happiness, and a life beyond your wildest dreams. And then go out there and claim it, because the world will never give you what you don't believe you deserve. It's time to change the way you see yourself. It's time to rise.